You're listening to the Happy Workaholic podcast. I'm your host, Kellyanne Gorman. This show was once about business, LinkedIn, and my life with an autoimmune disease. And then one day I found out I was misdiagnosed, so I had to switch things up a bit. Life is so short, and when you're given a second chance, you better believe I'm going to take it, celebrate it, and share it with you. I'm on a mission to help women take their business and life to that next level they deserve to be at. This show is intended to elevate your mind, upgrade your business, enhance your life, and become part of a positive and uplifting community. Inspiration, motivation, and determination are what got me to where I am today, and I cannot wait to share these amazing stories of other female entrepreneurs who will be featured on the show. If you have a story or brand you want to share, send me a message on Facebook and Instagram today. You can find me at The Happy Workaholic. I would love to connect with you. Do you want a live chat during this episode? Make sure you're listening on iHeartRadio. I'm here to remind you to work hard, stay humble, follow your dreams, and never, ever give up. Thanks for taking the time to subscribe to the Happy Workaholic podcast. And now let's get into today's show. Today's episode is brought to you by Your Podcast Production. Have you been wanting to launch your own podcast but not sure where to begin? Is time the only thing holding you back? Maybe you're already recording but need somebody to guide you through the production process. Do you have a message that needs to be heard? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I have just the program for you. Your Podcast Production designs, coaches, produces, and aligns you and your brand to have a successful, enjoyable, and profitable podcast. After launching my own show, I had so many women reach out to me and ask me how I did it. So what did I do? I created something I wish existed. There are many ways to create and launch a podcast, and you want to make sure you do it right from the very beginning. I believe that keeping it simple, organized, and original is the most effective and efficient way to go. Are you ready to start the process? Are you ready to learn more? Visit yourpodcastproduction.com today. Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode for the I Chose This Life series. Today I have a very special guest with us today. Her name is Katie Schacht, and she is a mom of two, a marketing professor, and she is working her direct sales business like no other. Katie, are you here with us?
Hello, I'm so excited to be here. You forgot the most important part. I'm a client of yours.
I know. One of my favorite clients, one of my very first podcasting clients. And I kind of want to jump right into that because you were one of my first podcast clients that actually had a show where you had a very important message to share, not where you were using this audio platform to expand your business. So can you tell our listeners what your podcast is all about?
Sure. Wow, I didn't even realize that about our relationship. How funny is that? Yeah. So, let's see. Travel back in time. I had a really tough time after the birth of my first son. So I have two babies. One is 6 months old today. The other is 3 years old. And after Liam, my first, so he's 3, I really sunk, deep into postpartum depression. It was a very weird journey for me. Like kind of looking back, it's like I felt like I knew I was going to get it. I got it. I was treated for it. My mom had her second cancer battle at the same time. There was just all of this like crap in my life at once. And I was just sort of like, I'm going through this for a reason. I'm going through it for a reason. You always tell yourself that. But as I got more distant from the thick of it, I was like, thinking it over, and everybody either talked to me at the time, like a doctor, like, how crazy do you feel? Are you going to kill your babies? They only wanted you to rate your symptoms on a scale of 1 to 10, or they wanted you to talk about how motherhood was like this goddess experience, and don't you love it? And I was not that girl either, so I just wanted, this content of a normal girl who had been through it in motherhood, made it out the other side, was back on her feet, or I like to pretend, I am, maybe some business stuff in there, got her mind right again. I just wanted that content, and it wasn't out there that I could find. So I think you and I met in like a networking group, and I kind of threw this at you, and you were like, yes, do it. And I was like, okay, I'll call you later. we put it on ice for a while until I think my semester at the time, I was new to being a professor as well. So I kind of got some time over the summer, and it went live last summer. So it's been a year now, and really was just birthed, out of wanting this type of content to exist on the interwebs, and I couldn't find it, so I created what I would have wanted, which again is just me, the voice of me, telling you what it was like, what postpartum depression was like for me. Treatments I tried and liked, things that worked, what, my mom's second cancer battle was like, what that, trauma, did to my family and my mindset, making it out the other side. And yeah, like being so blessed to now that I stuck with some other stuff, right? Like I stuck with direct sales through all that. And I have the flexibility now to teach other women how to do that too, even if you're going through it. I have now, I guess paid my dues. And so now I'm able to sort of enjoy the flexibility that direct sales and things like this can give you. So I love to show women how to do that and duplicate that, help you learn how to build a business from your phone despite maybe going through postpartum depression or a cancer battle, God forbid, or something like that.
I think that that's why you and I connected, and I just related to you so well in the very beginning when we had that first call, because everyone else I work with, almost everybody else, now there's a few more, but all the podcasts that I was producing and helping launch, they were all business related. But when I first got on the phone with you, you had this fire in your gut, like you had to share your story. And that's how my show was in the beginning, where when I first found out I had MS, I got on a Facebook Live. Then I found out it was NMO. Then I got on another Facebook Live. And I'm like, I need to be available to do this. Like, I need to help more people. And that's why my whole show, and then I obviously needed to monetize it, but I just had this like fire inside me. I'm like, this is happening for a reason. I need to like share my 2 cents and help other people looking for this content. And that's exactly what you said to me. In the middle of the night, you'd be searching for things and they weren't there. Like, I want to help other moms that are going through this. And then with your show, it's great because you share the products, you share, your marketing job, and then your direct sales business, and just like real life situations, which I think is so important and so relatable to other moms out there that are really looking for that. And I'm so excited that we did Own Your Pretty Now podcast, because now it's available for everybody else to listen to. And it does have that, real life part of the show where it's not, a lot of shows are very, what's the word? They're just all focused on business, and it's just great to have another like real life story that other women can listen to, and it's so relatable. And I think that's just why that very first call, I think we were messaging on Facebook, and then when we finally got on the phone, we were on the phone forever, and I was like, no, you need this. You have to share it. You have to do it now.
And I think, just to point out too to anybody listening or like considering, you and I have done shows before, we can probably link that in show notes about how to monetize a podcast, why do a podcast and all that. But like you said, I was up all hours of the night, right, nursing a baby, feeling like crap and going through it. And I'm, now doing it again, right, with a 6-month-old. But same thing with you, if you're up sick in the middle of the night, your drugs didn't take to you well. What does everybody always have on them? People like say it with me, their phone, right? Like they don't have
always
their laptop. Right. They don't have their laptop in the bathroom or up in the middle of the night with the house quiet nursing a baby or whatever. They always have their phone. And I wanted to be something positive that another, mom in a hard time could just maybe plug earphones in or whatever in the middle of the night and have just a little escape and hear that, this girl's normal. Yes, it was dark, but it got better. And this is, how I did it. And same thing for you. So yes, we totally did, bond on that. Podcasting is such a unique form of media, for the new millennium, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
In that literally, like you taught me, I get so many people saying, what equipment do you use and all this stuff? And I'm like, I work with a great producer. I've passed your name along so much. But you made it so easy for me that I can slip it into my life. And it just goes back to, I want women to understand that you can build a business from your phone from home or whatever, in whatever fashion that is, to do what you want with who you want. And sometimes who you want is not your babies, but it has to be,
Mm-hmm.
And but like I said, I am in direct sales, still it's been about 2 years. I've, had great success with that. So blessed. But, podcasting is a part of that too. It's a brand extension for a lot of people, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
It's a light and a way to get a message out for other people. But no matter what, it can be monetized. And, women need to pay attention because what's the stat? Like over half the women in the world that make 6 figures do it from home because of how, like, the nature of being female is you got to take care of the babies that come out of you. You just do. Men, yes, have responsibility, but at the end of the day, come on, let's just level here. There's a difference between the genders. That is a big one. And it just works for women. And I love seeing women understand that, embrace that, not begrudge it, but kind of embrace it and say, okay, this is what I want. I want to be with my kids more. How do I still contribute? And things like direct sales, podcasting, let us do that in 2019. It's so exciting.
And you're right, and you always post about this and you always say this, is that you can run a business from your phone. And it's so true. And when people contact me for podcasting, they get so nervous. There's such a huge investment. And I'm like, I've recorded over 100 episodes on my phone. You record on your phone. You have the brand new iPhone, so your sound quality is amazing. And so it makes production a lot easier, where older phones like mine, I forget which one I have, but thank God for iPhones. You can do everything on them. And you got into direct sales and literally run this business from your phone. You're so successful at it and you're super passionate about it. But can you tell us why you made that jump into direct sales?
Yeah, I've done it all. So I started out my career, I got my undergraduate degree in business from Ohio State. I'm a Buckeye. And I was born and raised in Columbus. And then I started my career at Abbott Nutrition. I was about 5 years there in marketing operations. And then marketing operations turned more digital. I went back to school. I got my MBA. And Abbott paid for it. So lesson 1 is to go to grad school when someone else pays for it. And so that's what I did. And then I finished that up, and around the time I was done with grad school, my dream job, came to me. I would always wanted to work for L Brands, formerly Limited Brands, you guys know. So the Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body, those that conglomerate. I always wanted to work there. Interviewed 1,000 times, it never worked out. Finally, a recruiter and I connected, and the right job was on the market. So I was able to make the jump to Bath and Body Works, where I was an email manager for Bath and Body stores, and was there for a couple years. Moved to the Limited before they went out of business. So I got to be a campaign manager at the Limited, and then had my son, where things, like we've said, kind of took a turn for my health. And I just didn't fit anymore. Working full time, it just did not fit. I feel like anybody with kids, you need flexibility from at least one of the people in the relationship. If you're blessed enough to have, I don't know how single moms do it, but if you're blessed enough to have a partner, you have to have a flexible schedule for at least one of you, preferably both. And if you're a single mom, I don't know how you do anything. Hats off to you. But I went out and started a startup, a skincare line, with a friend. And around that time, it was my mom's, second cancer battle. I started taking note of what was going on in my body. And that became really important to me. I'm my mom's only daughter. So I have 3 brothers. And so it just hit me different. Breast cancer, hit me different as the only girl. And I found another company, like a makeup skincare company that was paraben-free, right? All that stuff you're supposed to check for. So I joined them. I ran with that for about a year, and it just wasn't giving me the success I wanted. So I made a jump to Monate, actually. It's Haircare, if you guys haven't heard of it. And I had a postpartum bald spot, and I was like, just in my gut, I saw this stuff. It was just starting to pop up on the interwebs. And I sampled it, and I was like, I just feel like this is going to be something in my life. When you get that, this is something, right? So I wanted it. I just went ahead and joined instead of buying product. I just joined the company, got everything. And it did. It fixed my postpartum bald spot in a month. It was amazing. I'm happy to share that before and after with anybody who wants to see that embarrassing picture. And I just like caught this fire. My upline's amazing. She just said, you know, you need to really run with this. You know, all you really need is like a great experience with the product to just have it sell, right? People want to know it worked for you. And I just decided to run after it. I shared my before and after my embarrassing picture. I got uncomfortable really quick and I hit the director level. I've been there for, it's been 2 years total, so about a year and a half or something. I've been at like what you'd equate to like a director level of a company, and I do that, you know, quote unquote on the side, right? Like I said, my full-time job is to be a marketing professor. That in itself, I mean, is somewhat flexible. You know, I only teach 2 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday classes or whatever. So it is a full-time schedule, but it's flexible, and that gives me some flexibility to work on the business and grow a team. I've learned so much. My hair has never been better and no more bald spots.
You have amazing hair. Like you wash your hair like twice a week, not even. You would never know. What do you think is the number one, or share with us maybe like one or two things why women would be hesitant to join? What's the feedback that you get?
Oh gosh, I mean, it can vary with, I mean, direct sales in general. I think the industry still suffers a bit from the stigmas of the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're a scam, whatever. Okay, like if we can just get over that, that's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
We are like recognized by all the Better Business Bureau, all the things. I mean, you know too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something illegal. We are fully vetted and all the rest. Our products are tested by the same companies that test Pantene products and everything else. It's just the same. But I hear a lot of women, you know, not want to invest in the kit to start, which is just a shame because you have to be willing to invest in yourself. Something free, like if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Like you have to invest a little bit to have skin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the price a lot, but I think more often than not, most of my friends on Facebook or whatnot are married, so I get the husband excuse a lot with like, husband says no, husband doesn't support it, which is just super sad. I mean, I'm not in their marriage and I would never try to judge. But, you know, my husband and I actually did a Facebook Live this month together, just to kind of shed light on his take on it, because from his perspective, I've tripled, you know, in my old beauty business, what I would do in a year, I did in 3 months with money. Everybody washes their hair. You know, we have the line for men, children, women, dogs. I mean, everybody washes their hair. It's shampoo. People know what it is. A product like slips into their lives well, really easy. You're already using it. It's in your shower.
And it's vegan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that for a while, which is also huge because that's tapping into a whole nother market and customer base.
Yep. Yeah. So he really sees the benefit for like the income side of it, right? And then it does benefit on your taxes. You know, you can claim you have a home-based business. You can write off like your office in your home, for example, things like that. It benefits us for tax purposes. It benefits me, you know, being on maternity leave. I have an extended leave just because of academic calendars. So it's certainly a blessing, but it certainly makes me want to tear my hair out sometimes. And having flexibility to still have something to do that's my job, you know, even on maternity leave, I can still bring in money even on those unpaid weeks of leave, which everybody has unpaid weeks of leave. I still, you know, I didn't suffer from that. I still was able to bring in income. And like he's seen me be like nursing our daughter, he's putting sales in. Like who else can do that? I can't be on a call with a student and like, you know, whatever. Like that's real hard to do while you know, do this job while being a mom very easily. And so I think, again, that's why women need to pay attention and realize that women bringing in six figures do it by embracing kind of the challenges of our role in the house. You know, we're super blessed to be mothers, right? But it's hard. And there are days I fight it for sure. But if I can like switch my mindset and my energy and just say like, look, just embrace it. Like not everybody gets to do this. And the money rolls in easier. You know, I have more energy for my kids that way. And I just wish that more husbands, I guess, watched my husband's life or saw it from a, you know, perspective of, you know, if she pours into herself too, like your marriage will be better, your family will be healthier. I mean, give your family still time, like carve out time for your family too. But not a bad thing, and husbands should not hold their women back in any sense, and it just breaks my heart. I mean, I want them, I don't want to cause divorce, but like I want, you know, that to be less.
So I think that it was really important that you actually did a Facebook Live with your husband to share that side of the business and his point of view, and we also turned it into a podcast so that you could even share it to another audience. But I feel like that is something that does hold somebody back if they have a partner. And it was his first Facebook Live, I think, right? And he just got on and you just shared your story, and it makes you even more relatable. I love that. Okay, so tell us about what's going on in Monate right now.
Yeah, I mean, currently, you know, it's July. It's been a crazy town. It's just, we've been super blessed. Like, this company is, I think, 4 years old or so now, I want to say, maybe 5 years old. Our birthday's in October. Like I said, I, quite frankly, am putting on my team who's, like, come with me from other direct sales. Compared to where we were, we're raking it in. So, like, it's not free money. Okay, like, we're working for it. But it's just, frankly, easier money because, again, it's shampoo. I don't have to teach a workout, get you to take a shake, teach you what an oil does for you. I don't want to do all that. It's just shampoo. Like, you want good hair, wash your hair. So the business moves faster, which, again, coming from fashion and beauty retail, that's just in my blood. So I enjoy that side of it. We are having like a huge sale right now through July. A ton of stuff is half off, which we announced just yesterday when we're recording this. So I've been running around like crazy town. If anybody wants to try it, it's like a ton of stuff is 50% off. So it's huge, and it's been just running my business. We've also announced in the summer, we like to kind of prep people for the holidays. So again, just I have a retail background. I geek out on shopping. So majority of the U.S. expenditures is in the holiday months, primarily November. We really pay attention on my team to prepping my girls, my team's business for November because I want them in a good place, right? To really, really capitalize on Black Friday, on December, Christmas shopping, all the things. So you'll see Monate knows that as well. So they put a ton of promotion into the summer months to help us get a stronger team, to help us make more sales, get more customers, right? So that in November, those people are buying their own gifts, buying gifts for people with us. They trust us by November, right? That whole people have to know, like, and trust you to buy from you. So they really set us up in the summer for an awesome holiday. So we're already thinking holiday. We have to be ahead of it, which, again, I learned from L Brand. So we have like we're giving away like a lot of free product for people who sign on at the moment because we want a strong holiday month. So it's been really, really amazing. My team has just been on fire. I love, a lot of direct sales companies I found, just by the way, something else I guess that kind of can irk me is when I think you have to be picky when you look at how money comes in a direct sales business to you. I mean, I know you've been with some too. I found that in my previous company, like they didn't pay me for everything they asked me to do. Mm-hmm. And that really bugged me. So with money, that's not the case, right? So if I'm going to recruit somebody, they reward me for that. If I'm going to make a sale, they reward me for that. And so again, it's able to help me show other women that like, you're not going to be asked to throw a party at your house, and that whole time you're cleaning the house and everything, you're not making anything for that, right? And so it just really is more beneficial, I think, that we're able to get rewarded for everything the company asks of us. Growing a team, making sales, they put money in our pocket for that, and it really does show in the checks that my team's able to make. I had a girl make her first sale this past week in the business. And she was just so over the moon. We have to really celebrate every step of the business for somebody. It's all a journey. So
that's so true. And I just want to remind everybody listening that Katie and I have done some episodes together, and I'm going to put those in the show notes, especially if you guys are looking to get into direct sales and you do have a partner that's kind of on the fence. You really need to go listen to this podcast episode on Own Your Pretty Now. That will also be in the show notes, as well as everywhere where you can find Katie and learn more about Monat and all those things. Now, obviously, this series is called I Chose This Life. So what was that moment, Katie, that you had where it just hit you like a ton of bricks? Like, this is why I'm doing.
What it was. Yeah, I know exactly what it was. I came home. I was still working at the Limited, so corporate. It's not really even just corporate. If you've worked, you've worked in the beauty industry, right? Like, it's fashion and beauty run. You ragged. Anybody will tell you that.
Oh my God, yes.
It's full time, but it's like full time. And Liam, I was back at work. So let's say Liam was like 6 months old. I went back when he was 3 months old. Let's say he's 6 months old. It was summertime. I'm still trying, to nurse. So pumping at work. When you have like postpartum depression, I don't know if this is everybody's experience, but like the treatment I was on just left my head not me. Like, I still knew I wasn't me. Like, I felt better enough to go to work, but I was not like firing on all cylinders, if that makes sense. I was just not completely in my skin, and nursing hormones will, drive you nuts too. But I came back. I think I usually left the house at like 8. I got back at like 6 or 6:30 if I was lucky. I was trying to like feed Liam in the rocking chair downstairs in my family room. My mom was there. She was keeping him at the time, so she had him all day. I didn't see him all day, obviously. And I was just sitting in that rocking chair, feeding him a bottle, and like kind of talking to her about everything. And she obviously knew that I was kind of going through it. And I was just she was like, I just don't know that this is the life you want. And I just remember looking at him and crying and being like, this part of my life is over. Like, the part of my life that is like corporate and live for the job and get up early and go. I loved it. Like, I'm going to cry thinking about it. I loved it. That was all I did. I went to grad school. I was smarty-pants. Like, I put the work in. How dare, this baby, like, change that for me. But at the same time, like, I was willing, to kind of accept that. And just looking at him that day, I was just like, I have to change. This is not it anymore. Like, God has moved my plan elsewhere, and I hate it. And I know I'm still not 100%, but I just know in my heart that like something else is coming, and my family needs me differently now. And so I went in the next day, and I made a move. Actually, I took, the startup job that I took, I wasn't even getting paid for. So talk about like a supportive husband. Like, I know I'm very freakishly blessed. But I went in the next day, and I, gave them my notice, and I just kind of stepped out in faith and waited. Waited for Monat to come along. I remained really open. Lots of prayer, lots of meditation, lots of breathing, deep breaths, lots of deep
all the meditation and breathing.
Yeah. And then Monat fell into my lap, and, the rest is kind of history. And now, I was open to such weird opportunities. I get called out of the blue. A professor of mine thought I should be a professor and thought it was a joke. But, when you're open to opportunities and you keep your network activated, you never know what's going to come down the pipe. And so you can't shut a door. You can't. I guess in a sense, I did shut a door, right, to like the 9-to-5 life. But I had really confirmation after confirmation that was done. And so I did step out in faith, shut that door, said, okay, I'm pivoting over here. I'm looking for, I remember telling my husband one night at like the few date nights we got, I was like, I do not want to work full time anymore. I want to be with Liam more, not all the time. I'm not crazy, but I want to be with him, more, and I just need to find something that makes me proud to be me this makes sense at a full-time level, but it's not full-time. You know, like the clout and the pride that comes with like a career title. That sounds horrible, I guess. But I said it out loud. You know, you believe in all that. You say it, you claim it, you stay open to what's coming along, and then an inbox. You know, I get an email like, "Do you want to be a professor?" And I was like, "What the heck?" You know, "Do you want to run a hair care business?" You know, there's a sale on starting the business. What the heck, right? You just have to stay open and follow those little hunches, that intuition, I think. And so I did. You know, I guess long story short, I chose the life because it was just too uncomfortable to stay where I was.
Mm-hmm. I think that's so important, and thank you for sharing that story. For those of you listening, if you can take away just a couple things from this recording right now, it's you have to share your message. You need to follow your passion, find that purpose, and if there's anything that you ever need to learn about direct sales, Katie is the woman. She is so knowledgeable and her expertise is just beyond, but she'll be honest with you. And, all these rumors online about direct sales, she'll be honest with you and tell you, like, she literally runs her business from her phone. So if you're another mom or somebody trying to find another revenue stream, I think that this outlet with Katie and Monat would be excellent for you because you can literally run your business from your phone. And she says it all the time, and she literally does, because if you follow her on Instagram or Facebook, you'll see like she's going for a walk, going to get her, what's the nutrition place that you keep going to?
Oh gosh, yeah. My friends are in Herbalife. So that's another direct sales company.
Oh, okay.
Like a shop here in town, and they have a supplement called New Mom. So like, shout out to them.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Like, yeah, it's like so special, right? It's something you mix in your smoothie, and it's got like vitamins and stuff to help combat fatigue, which it's not going to fully do that for you, but it's going to try. And it like can supports at least I've seen an increase in like my milk supply from it. So I'm just obsessed. So I like to go there and just get out of the house. But I really like the New Mom supplement. It's just I haven't found anything like it.
That's amazing. And something else I just want to share is that all of my friends that are in direct sales, they're in various companies, but they're all very supportive of each other. And some are in multiple companies, which, if it's allowed, like they do different products. And that's something I feel like, I actually have friends that still feel like in your mind, and I've learned so much from you, to fight the stigma. Like, it's not about that. It's not a scam. And my friends online, we all find like our tribes online and meet in Facebook groups or wherever. And there's so many companies out there that provide this type of money to be made. And everybody is supportive of each other. There's no, from the most part, from what I've seen, which is huge, I think, because I feel like it'd be like high school drama, like, oh, you work for this company, oh, you work for that company. I think that once you're working your business and you see what it takes, like, you just become supportive of each other. I feel like that's what I've seen.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think you can, as a mom or even as a woman too, I think you can start to recognize, like you can tell too, right? Like I have younger like sister-in-laws now, and I think like when they got married to my brothers or like they were dating, they like I don't think had like bought probably nothing really from anybody in direct sales, and then they had their first babies and they got married. And all of a sudden they were like, well, they were having like postpartum hair loss issues, so they came to me, which is amazing. But all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, what is Herbalife? Or, oh, my friend is doing the nail thing. And they like, all of a sudden it clicks. At one point in your life, I promise you, listen to this, it will click. That is a woman trying to do what she loves with who she loves. And I want to support that woman, right? And it's just, I get goosebumps, thinking about it. But it's hard. It's hard for that woman. You make her day when you freaking buy a New Mom supplement, or you buy an earring or something. Like, you make somebody's freaking day. And that's a whole lot more fun than just going to Target. I mean, I love Target, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot more fun when you can recognize, like, the purpose behind it. And those are the women I love to work with. Somebody who says, my life's real hard right now. Yes, I'm going through it, but I want to try to embrace it. I don't know that I can. I didn't know that I could. I didn't know I had this in me to be home this much. Like some days I don't have it in me and I run away. But, you know, if you can try to even get halfway to embracing it and saying, like, how can I bring these worlds together? That I think direct sales, like you said, is an awesome, awesome fit.
Something else that's amazing, your sister-in-laws, and is that a word, sister-in-law? You and your sister-in-laws, you actually all had your babies like back to back, which is so great.
Yeah,
back to back to back.
Yeah, I mean, they all got, well, first of all, sorry, they all got married the same freaking summer. That was nuts.
Oh my God.
And then very expensive. And then they you know, two of the three, one of them's still holding out, living the good life without kids. the other two, yeah, they got pregnant at the same time. My nephews they're both boys. My nephews were born November 1st and November 19th, and then Ella was born January 30th. So
that's so awesome.
It's crazy.
Now, speaking of holidays, actually, when you were talking about gearing up for the holidays, I literally just got a Facebook ad pushed to me for the fall candles. I think it was Bath and Body Works or Yankee Candle or something. And I'm like, oh my God, am I even ready for cinnamon and nutmeg yet? It's so hot outside. But I know, speaking of the fall, what are you planning or where are you planning to go come November?
Well, yeah, November I'm super close. Again, honey, it's been like super. I've been on other companies too, right? And I don't know about you guys listening to this. I've never been close to even earning a trip or a car, you know, or any of that crazy stuff. And they've talked about this Cancun trip. And all of a sudden I was like, maybe I'll just meet, you know, I have had a pretty good, I've been in the top 10 for sales. So I'm kind of like, I have had a pretty good year. Maybe I need to look and see how close I am to this. So I am very stinking close. You know, I'm speaking it into existence, you know, praying on it, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
But I will be, you know, earning the trip to Cancun. We have to earn it here now in July, and then the trip is in November. So we get to go, you know, all expenses paid, and it is very realistic, very close to within my reach. And I do love that about Monade, that I'm not the tippy top of the comp plan. I'm a leader, but I'm not at the top by any means, and I'm earning a trip, and I'm not, for example, like earning our car incentive, which a ton of these companies have. You know, a lot of times that's reserved for tippy top people too. I'm like a rank away from getting my car, so it's just nice that they pay me for everything they ask of me, like I said, and then that the really shiny, awesome prizes are very well within your reach here, and I think that's just keeps you going for sure.
Quick question. Is your passport renewed?
No, that's on my list. Thank you. That's on my list. Thinking of, like, you know, what do you say, like, act on it and step out with faith and it's going to happen. I need to do that. That was on my list, so I need to.
You have to do that because then you're ready to go. I'm so excited. I'm so glad I had you on the show today. I'm so glad that you were able to share your story, why you started your podcast, and where can everybody find you online? I know I mentioned it, and you guys, everything will be in the show notes.
Thank you so much. I mean, you can find me on Facebook. My personal page is at Katie Schacht. You'll find me to search for my name. The business page and all that jazz on Facebook and Instagram is at Own Your Pretty Now. So you can like the Facebook page or follow on the Instagram account over there. I'm always posting the sales, doing the stories for kind of behind the scenes. You'll really, want to follow me for stuff about beauty, obviously hair care, motherhood, we get into a lot, and then business marketing stuff as I do, just geek out and embrace all things. The science of shopping is how I put it. So,
oh my God, I love that. The science of shopping. It's so smart. Thank you so much for being on today's show. And you guys, everything, like I said, will be in the show notes. If you have any questions whatsoever about Monade, direct sales, marketing, postpartum depression, like all those things that we've discussed today, please go contact Katie. She's a wealth of knowledge, and she obviously is on her phone, so she can message you back at any time. Thank you so much, Katie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you liked this episode, please share it with someone who you feel needs to hear this message. And don't forget to tag me at The Happy Workaholic on Facebook and Instagram so I can feature you on my stories. And if you have 2 minutes and listening on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, I would love it if you could leave me a review. Those messages mean so much to us podcasters, and they really help me create more of the content that you'll love. Want to continue today's conversation? It's simple. Head to Facebook and search for the Happy Workaholic Network Facebook group. Answer the questions and you're in. For more information on myself, coaching programs, weekly newsletter, and more, visit thehappyworkaholic.com. The Happy Workaholic Podcast is part of the iHeartRadio Podcast Network. Be sure to follow the Happy Workaholic Podcast on iHeartRadio or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. I hope that your day continues to be happy, healthy, positive, and productive, and I'll talk to you again soon.